So now we get to an Ohio bill aimed to ban NIL. Ohio lawmakers pushed to ban NIL in high school sports. Ohio lawmakers Adam Byrd and Mike Odioso introduced House Bill 161 to prohibit middle and high school athletes from earning compensation for their name, image, and likeness while participating in OHSAA sports. This comes just months after the OHSAA passed emergency bylaw allowing high school NIL, a move prompted by a lawsuit involving OSU commit Jameer Brown, nation number one wide receiver in the 2027 class. Supporters of the bill argue that high school sports should remain educational, amateur and educational. And Burr had this to say: "We don't spend public taxpayer money on stadiums, weight rooms, gymnasiums in order for student athletes to earn an income." But the argument is, we don't build this for the kids to get paid. Why are you spending the money on all these things in the first place? Because someone is getting paid. Coaches, administrators, the ADs, Nike, Adidas, media outlets, the sponsors, local sponsorships, restaurants, they're all getting paid. So everybody eats except the athletes. Private schools will spend thousands of dollars covering kids' tuition, telling him, like, hey, this will help your future based on our academic reputation. So we want to help you. But that same athlete can't earn money based on the reason you want him at your school because of athletic ability. So that does not make sense to me. And Ohio currently allows high school NIL. It's like 45 other states plus Washington, D.C. Let's not pretend this is dangerous for Ohio. Banning NIL would not fix the system. It would move Ohio backwards because certain people in leadership don't want to see teenagers walk around money in their pockets. And this matters for Ohio State. It could be a domino effect. So prohibiting NIL at the high school level could have real consequences for Ohio State football and basketball. Why? The top athletes in Ohio leave the state underclassmen and go play in Texas, Florida, and California, or any of the 40 plus NIL friendly states, make six figures, and never come back to Ohio to play for the Buckeyes. You don't think that certain coaches could see a five-star in Ohio, go to him, recruit as a sophomore, and say, hey, this connection, let's say Georgia. Kirby said, hey, get him to a school in Georgia, pay for this six-figure NIL. Boom, he's already in Georgia. His family's set there. Recruit him. Boom, doesn't go to Ohio State anymore. He's now in Georgia or Texas. That could easily happen if Ohio can't pay these players, but other schools can, give them that disadvantage. And so then what happens? Ohio State fans pouring money into NIL will say, we didn't do all this money in the NIL to lose to Northwestern. Like, what are we doing? Northwestern, in Illinois, they passed NIL. So they can do that. That'd be an advantage for a team like that. And Ohio State will be limiting its own talent pool off this, all because leadership are checking teenagers' pockets. Like, come on, y'all. Like, what they eat don't make you. All right, I can't cuss on here, but you get it. So, if high school sports are truly just co-curricular activities, like they said, you wouldn't build $1 million stadiums, you wouldn't install jumbotrons, and you wouldn't invest in like the elite weight rooms and facilities. It was just co-curricular activities. So under this bill, there's no ban on local restaurants making money, no ban on sponsors cashing in, and no ban on media outlets making money. But the players themselves, no money. Again, does not make sense. Let me say this though. There's absolutely needs to be better regulation for high school NIL, just like there need to be changes for the college NIL as well. Because there are flaws in the system doesn't mean it's an excuse to eliminate it altogether and limit the opportunity entirely. That should not happen as well. So anyone has a right to be pissed off about the NIL or Saudi, not legislation. It should be like the players in the trenches that aren't getting paid, the DBs covering four-star receivers in practice or at games on Fridays and not getting paid. So NIL is not going to be equal. I'm not saying that, but it should be more balanced. And for schools paying six figures or more to athletes, you should be also hiring mentors for them, holding players academically accountable, and demanding they stay on track academically. Because even if a kid's a five-star making millions, he still has to meet academic requirements and he has to go to college at least 3 years for the pros. Unless it's basketball, you can be 1 year and be done. But he still needs education as a safety net. And so the real downfall of NIL isn't a kid pulling up in a Bentley to school. It's a possibility that he stops caring about school, practice, studying, improving his ACT scores, all that. Because if that happens, he can miss out on a free college education. And that would be like the main concern out of all this. And that's no reason to eliminate NIL. It's just let's make sure they can be compensated, but also keep them on track for later. So I don't expect House Bill 161 to pass. It's definitely something to keep an eye on and to watch because if it does pass, it would hurt Ohio State recruiting, hurt retention of Ohio's top athletes. It's not about like ruining high school sports. Just the point is that don't pretend that high school sports are amateur when everyone else is eating. That's it. So let me know what y'all think in the comments about Tavian St. Clair and about the House bill. All right, go Bucks.